Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching our presentation. I'm Mingzhen and I'm here with my colleague Jen Robinson. We're really excited to share what we have learned about how regular and substantive interaction, or RSI, can boost student engagement and success while also helping us stay aligned with Department of Education guidelines. This project has truly been a team effort. Jen, Nate, and I have been working closely with our senior associate faculty, looking at how meaningful connections between students and instructors in online courses make a real difference in student success and retention. We have seen that when faculty actively monitor participation, reach out regularly, and respond quickly to students' needs, it creates a more engaging and supportive learning experience. And that's what we're excited to share with you today.
Right, we're going to start with an introduction. Online higher education institutions continue to face significant challenges in student retention and progression, particularly with large enrollment first year general education courses. These foundational courses often lack sufficient regular and substantive interaction, flexible multimodal instruction, and personalized support, which are critical components for fostering student engagement and success. The absence of those elements may contribute to suboptimal retention and persistence rates among students, especially non traditional adult learners. The Department of Education mandates that Title IV eligible programs incorporate RSI to ensure meaningful and scheduled interactions between students and instructors. These interactions are intended to be predictable and substantive, with instructors actively monitoring student engagement and providing responsive instructional support. Despite this federal requirement, empirical research assessing the impact of enhanced RSI practices on student outcomes in high enrollment courses remains limited. This study aims to address these gaps by implementing and evaluating interactive pedagogical approaches designed to improve student learning outcomes and support. The research focuses on foundational online courses at the University of Arizona Global Campus, investigating how these enhanced practices influence student engagement, retention, and progression. The study also seeks to clarify the implementation of RSI in first year online courses and identify effective pedagogical practices tailored to the needs of non traditional adult learners. Ultimately, though, the goal is to enhance course progression and optimize the learning experience, thereby contributing to student success and institutional efficacy. Before we begin, it's really important to understand the evolution of RSI and its requirements. When we look at the Department of Education's regular and substantive engagement requirements, we can see how they have changed slightly over the years. There has been a shift to more instructor initiated interaction that is individually relevant, predictable, and focused on course objectives. And the literature on online learning highlights several challenges and opportunities, particularly for non traditional and first year students. Key themes include things such as student retention and engagement, the implementation and implications of regular and substantive interaction, and pedagogical practices that support inclusive and effective instruction. These themes form the foundation of the current study. Researchers have explored how institutional structures and instructional strategies contribute to student success, emphasizing the critical nature of the first year experience and the unique challenges faced by students new to online learning. Studies by Bozzetti and Ipin Tu and Tseng affirm the importance of high impact practices in fostering engagement and academic persistence. These practices are essential for helping students acclimate to college life, develop critical thinking and communication skills, and build a coherent foundation of knowledge. Research by Bloomer et al. And Mulihana and Luo, Tate and Warshauer and others reveal a concerning trend. Retention and graduation rates for students in online universities are significantly lower than for other institutions. This disparity underscores the urgent need for targeted interventions to support online learners, particularly during their first year, which is often marked by significant challenges and adjustment difficulties. By implementing high impact practices and regular and substantive interaction, students can create a more supportive and engaging learning environment that promotes student success and improves retention outcomes. And instructor presence plays a pivotal role in fostering learning engagement, particularly in online education environments. As students transition from traditional in-person platforms, the nature and support and the learning environment undergo a significant change. According to Martin and Borup, learning engagement is deeply influenced by the surrounding environment and the support mechanisms in place. Ip2 further emphasized that these elements shift considerably in online settings, necessitating deliberate efforts to recreate a supportive atmosphere. Hale underscores the importance of establishing a suitable learning environment where students can access both technical and academic support. This support is not merely infrastructural, but hinges on active presence of instructors who guide, mentor, and respond to students' needs. Instructor presence ensures that students feel connected, supported, and motivated, which is essential for persistence and success in online courses. Without this presence, students may feel isolated and disengaged, leading to decreased academic performance and decreased retention rates. First year and first time online students often encounter a myriad of challenges that can hinder their academic success. These students may enter the university with varying levels of learner autonomy and social capital, resulting in sociocultural incongruity with the university. Such incongruity can manifest as difficulties interacting with peers and instructors, maybe poor time management, difficulty with task management skills, and maybe reduced capacity for self-directed learning or pedagogy. So instructor presence in online education can take various forms, including active participation in discussion forums, delivering flipped classroom style lectures, and offering synchronous office hours where students can ask questions and practice content. Additional methods such as phone calls and texting provide feedback on course tasks that further enhance an instructor's visibility and accessibility. Research also emphasizes the importance of a continuous feedback loop, which supports students' self-regulated learning, which is a critical component in online asynchronous education. This loop allows instructors to monitor student progress, provide timely interventions, and adapt their teaching strategies to meet the individual needs of students. By maintaining this consistent and meaningful interactions, instructors help students stay motivated, understand the course material, and develop skills for necessary academic success. So for the purposes of this study, our research on the impact of enhanced faculty engagement models on student outcomes was the focus. Bao et al. Investigated a faculty of practice role, which emphasized increased instructor presence through personalized learning, subject matter expertise, discipline mentoring, and community building. Their findings revealed significant improvements in student GPA and satisfaction in courses taught by the faculty of practice faculty compared to those led by adjunct faculty. Robinson et al. Examined the benefits of live learning sessions. These are synchronous interactions that are an adjunct to asynchronous courses. And these sessions provided opportunities for that human connection, which is crucial for fostering presence, engagement, and success. This localized research then offers valuable insights into how targeted interventions can enhance the online learning experiences and underscores the potential for broader application across diverse educational contexts. So the study Despite the growing interest in instructor presence and engagement strategies, several research gaps remain that hinder a comprehensive understanding of effective online education practices. One major gap is that lack of evidence regarding the effectiveness of specific interventions in large enrollment general education courses, which are common in online programs. Additionally, the absence of disaggregated data on student responses limits the ability to assess the impact that these interventions have across different populations. There's also a need for improved measurement and tracking of faculty behaviors and experiences to understand how instructor engagement influences student outcomes. Another critical gap involves the quality of the implementation, efficacy, scalability, and sustainability of the engagement interventions. These factors are essential for ensuring long-term success in online education. The evolution of the RSI requirement reflects a growing recognition of the need for structured and meaningful engagement. And as regulatory frameworks continue to develop, institutions must adapt by fostering interactions that promote student success and retention. Addressing these gaps is vital for advancing the field and enhancing effectiveness of online learning environments. So, this quasi-experimental study was designed to explore the impact of enhanced faculty engagement on student success in online courses. Specifically, it focused on the concept of regular and substantive interaction, which refers to meaningful and consistent engagement between instructors and their students within the online classroom. The study aimed to assess how RSI influences student retention, academic progression, particularly within large enrollment online general education courses. By examining the efficacy of RSI, the study sought to provide insights into how structured and intentional instructor interactions can improve student outcomes in distance learning environments. The research is grounded in the understanding that effective online education requires more than just content delivery. It necessitates active and ongoing engagement from faculty to support student learning and persistence. The primary objectives of the study included evaluating the effectiveness of RSI on student retention and academic progression. This study did target a large enrollment online general education courses, which are common in distance learning programs. So, to achieve these goals, the study implemented several instructional enhancements, including technology enhanced multimodal instruction, augmented engagement strategies, increased instructor presence, and comprehensive academic support mechanisms. These interventions were applied to two first-year online general education courses, English composition and information literacy. And we were really focusing on the development of critical thinking skills, writing skills, and analytical skills. By integrating these enhancements into these courses, the study aimed to create a more supportive and engaging learning environment that fosters student success. A key component of the study involved examining faculty engagement expectations that aligned with RSI principles. This included identifying the types and the frequency of instructor-initiated interactions and estimating the weekly time investment required for the engagement. The study emphasized the importance of having a well-articulated plan for frequent and predictable interactions that were initiated by the instructor. These interactions must have been meeting the definitions of substantive, but also focusing on the engagement of the academic material in the course. And this consistency in these practices across the distance education courses is crucial to ensure that students receive the support they need to succeed. And by analyzing these faculty behaviors and engagement patterns, the study aimed to provide a clearer understanding of how instructor presence and proactive communication contributed to improvement in student outcomes in online education.
Thanks, Jen. What this study shows is how important it is to apply regular and substantive interaction principles in a structured and consistent way. In simple terms, RSI means that instructors intentionally plan frequent and predictable interactions with students. These interactions aren't just check-ins. They are meant to be meaningful, focused on the course content, and designed to help students really understand what they're learning. When instructors apply these principles consistently across all online courses, students experience a stronger sense of connection and support. That in turn leads to a higher engagement and greater academic success. Ultimately, it's about making sure every student feels seen, supported, and actively involved in their learning journey. Next slide, please. This study took place, as Jen mentioned, in two foundational first-year general education courses, English Composition 1 and Information Literacy. Composition 1 focuses on developing students' critical writing and analytical thinking skills, while Information Literacy helps students build strong research and information literacy competencies. Altogether, we look at 56 sections offered between October 2024 and June 2025. These are required courses for most students, those entering with fewer than 30 transfer credits, and even for students with more credits if they haven't yet met those core competencies. The main difference between the groups in our study was the level of faculty-student interaction. In the treatment group, faculty implemented several enhanced engagement strategies designed to bring more connection and support into these large online courses. For example, posting discussion responses in video format to make feedback more personal. Reaching out proactively to students who were struggling by email, text, or phone calls. Sharing phone numbers to make communication more accessible, and also meeting with students at flexible times to accommodate their schedules. Next slide, please. To evaluate outcomes, we use descriptive statistics, looking at how students performed across a range of course level metrics. We compared fail rates, pass rates, completion rates, progression rates, all those rates that you're familiar with, right? Between the treatment and control groups to see where differences emerged. We also look at student demographics. For example, students using traditional financial aid, those supported through corporate partnerships, and also students with military benefits. Finally, we tracked how often instructors used those very specific RSI outreach activities. This allows us to explore the relationship between the amount and type of faculty outreach and student success, and whether those patterns varied depending on student subgroups. Next slide, please. Results. What we found is really encouraging. Increased faculty-student interaction didn't really lead to grade inflation. Faculty maintained the same high academic standards when they had before the pilot, but students were submitting more work across all their classes. So in other words, students are more engaged and completing more assignments, while the academic rigor remains strong. And that's exactly the balance we want to see. More participation and persistence without lowering the bar for quality or expectations. Next slide, please. Once faculty started using the enhanced RSI practices, we saw a clear difference. Students submitted more assignments. And this wasn't just compared to how those same instructors taught before the pilot. It also held truth when we compared them with faculty who were not using the pilot practices. Even better, student assignment scores improved across all subgroups. Military students in particular showed a strongest gain with a 7% increase in their average assignment scores from 4.8 to 5.15, and a 4% higher submission rate than their peers. So not only were students turning more work, they actually were performing better too. Next slide, please. Consistent with the improvements we saw in assignment submissions and scores, there were also promising gains in overall course success across both subject areas. In Composition 1, students taught by pilot faculty earned a slightly higher average course GPA compared to those with non-pilot faculty. So while the improvement was modest, it was definitely positive. Even more encouraging, the fail rate dropped by 1% point. These results were even more stronger in information literacy, where we saw more substantive increases in course performance and success rates. Next slide, please. Student survey, that's probably my best, the slide that I like the most. Student survey responses reveal consistently higher satisfaction levels with pilot faculty across both Composition 1 and Information Literacy courses. In every measured category, students rated pilot faculty more favorably than their non-pilot counterparts on instructor-related qualities. This satisfaction also extended to course recommendations, with students more likely to recommend both the courses and the instructors. Next, please. Looking at the chart of just-in-time support metrics for at-risk students, we can see how different communication methods were used during the pilot. The most frequently used were signal notes, followed by video posts in the classroom, then emails, text messages, phone calls, office hours, and finally one-on-one Zoom meetings. What's interesting here is that we see a shift from traditional email communication towards system notes and other faster embedded channels. For adult learners, especially, text messages proved more effective than more time-intensive options like office hours or one-on-one Zoom sessions. After about 3 months of piloting, we decided to stop tracking phone calls, office hours, and Zoom meetings for research purposes, though faculty still offer those as options for students. So from that point forward, our research focused on 4 primary support types: signal notes, video posts, emails, and also text messages. Next slide. Overall, we continue to see improvements in assignments, overall GPA, and fail rates. However, there has not been significant improvement compared with non-pilot faculty in pass rates or course progression. On the other hand, all GE courses, all general education courses, not just the pilot ones, have shown improvements in pass rates and progression metrics. This makes it very difficult to conclude whether faculty-student interaction alone is driving improvements in overall course outcomes, since the control bar is consistently rising. Still, this is a very good problem to have, and we're grateful for everyone who supports general education growth at UAGC. This also brings us back to our original questions. We were never aiming to prove that our pilot faculty are the best. They are representative of our preferred plus instructors that we try to schedule more in the classroom. What we really want to know is that for the type of support we ask our faculty to provide, how do they decide which strategies to apply and to which students? And for the individual students who are receiving those interventions, how do these supports affect their learning outcomes? So looking at just-in-time support for at-risk students, the most used methods are signals notes, classroom video posts, then emails, and then text messages. Discussion videos are the clear winner here, consistently driving the best results. Signals comes in second, and working especially well for students with GPA greater than 3. Canvas emails ranked third. While average looks decent, there is a lot of variation depending on GPA and student types. And by saying student types, I mean like core students, FTG students, or military students. Text messages are least effective overall, but among the four types that we focused here, results vary very widely. Progression rates range from 33% for full tuition grant students with GPA less than 3 to 100% for tuition benefit students with GPA greater than 3. So the bottom line here is that discussion videos and signals are reliable across the board, while emails and text messaging need to be tailored to different student groups. Next slide. When we break students down by prior GPA, we typically see that students with GPA greater than 3 respond better to faculty interaction as measured by success metrics. Looking closer at student lines of business, discussion videos stand out as the most effective intervention for at-risk core students. It's the top strategy for struggling core students with prior GPA less than 3. Next slide. For full tuition grant students with prior GPA less than 3, discussion videos show exceptional effectiveness, while text messages perform poorly for this group. Next. Okay. Military students respond strongly to discussion video and signals interventions. For struggling military students, the drop rate remains extremely low when faculty provide support, regardless of whether they ultimately pass or fail the course. So that's a really interesting point that they really want to try their best and then stay with faculty who provide support to them and see if there is a chance to complete the course. Next. Similarly, signals and discussion video show strong effectiveness for tuition benefit students. Next. So to summarize, faculty have been providing just-in-time support to struggling students in the classroom. Students' coursework submission rates and satisfaction with instruction and courses are consistently stronger. Assignment grades and average GPA are also higher, though we do not see clear pattern yet in pass or progression rates. Struggling students identified through missing work or low performance respond differently to different types of interaction. We identified some outreach practices are more effective for certain groups. What we see so far aligns with our understanding of student characteristics in these student population subgroups. On this screen are all the struggling students we are proactively reaching out. Even with a 33% progression rate, that still means 3 students advanced to the next class. When we celebrate a 100% progression rate, we also recognize the value of 33% because in both cases, students advanced to the next class. And in this instance, if you see on the screen, the actual count is exactly the same. Totally over the past 9 months, 720 out of the 901 struggling students, that's 80%, successfully progressed to the next class. Next slide. This is our last slide, but we really like to take a moment to thank our colleagues and partners who made this research possible. We are deeply grateful to OSIF and OIE for their support and data contributions. A special thank as well to Dr. Justin Harrison, our Dean, and also our 4 senior associate faculty members. Their commitment to student success have been absolutely invaluable to this project. Thank you so much.